Oh, yep. Right out. So when you hit the ground, you don't like this when you're done. Yeah, exactly. I haven't done courtesy to park like this. Yeah. But he those are fathers that hit that. Okay. You know, and but he so I guess somebody gave him the father jacket. Yeah. He like it. I took it. And this one on too. Yeah. Yeah.
We're live.
We're live.
To our March 18th council meeting. Our first order of business is a call to order and a rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. So please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on our agenda is a reading of the Sunshine Statement and roll call by our municipal clerk, Mrs. Lauren Statz.
This meeting of the Dunellen Borough Council is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of March 18th, 2024 was included in a list of meetings that was advertised in the Courier on January 8th, 2024, and as a teleconference was noticed on the official Dunellen website on March 15th, 2024, and on the public bulletin board on North Ave on March 15th, 2024, and has remained continuously posted as the required notice under the statute. Mayor Salento,
Present.
Council President Albertson,
Present.
Mrs. Lance,
Here.
Mr. Pauljon,
Here.
Mrs. Rios,
Here.
Mr. Sigmund,
Here.
and Mr. Vandermark.
Here.
Before we move on to item number 3 on our agenda, which is the appointments to boards, commissions, and authorities, I would just like to read a statement out for the public based upon what happened at the last council meeting. Just so it's noted and on record, I do believe I made my position on behalf of the council and the entire town of what we believe that phone call was and how we won't stand for it. But I do have a statement that I would like to read out for the record. It saddens me to have to address the recent incident of Zoom bombing during our March 4th, 2024 council meeting. Our community values inclusivity, respect, and constructive dialogue. Any form of hateful speech or behavior, whether in person or online as it occurred on March 4th, is utterly unacceptable, and it goes against the very fabric of our borough's identity. Unfortunately, we are one of the many communities throughout the country that have been recently experiencing the Zoom bombing, a term coined during the pandemic that entails racial, anti-Semitic, and other hateful speech during public meetings. While we recognize the importance of free speech, it must never be a shield for bigotry or discrimination. As a community, we stand resolutely against the hate in all forms. We are committed to fostering an environment where all residents feel safe and welcome to participate in civic discourse without fear of intimidation or harassment, and we are proud that we've been able to accomplish that in the Miracle Mile. In light of this incident, we are continuing to review our procedures to ensure the security and integrity of all our council meetings, virtual meetings. We will work diligently to implement measures that uphold the principles of free speech while safeguarding against malicious disruptions. Our goal is to create a platform where every voice can be heard respectfully and constructively. Furthermore, we are working with our local law enforcement, having reported this incident, and anticipated that an investigation will take place in order to identify those who participated in these vile actions. And I will note, names were taken, they were found, they were reported, and let me tell you, if you're online again tonight, it's going to continue to be reported. So stop your foolishness. I urge all members of our community to join us in condemning hate speech and standing up for the values of tolerance, diversity, and mutual respect. Together, we can build a stronger, more inclusive Dunellen for generations to come. And it's something that we have been building because Dunellen's a great town to live, work, shop, and raise a family in. So those are the values in which we stand on. And we condemned the ridiculous, vile comments that were made at the last council meeting. And as I said then, I'll say again, you'll have to answer to your maker based upon those comments that you made. Okay, now, without further ado, item number 3 is the mayor's appointments to boards, commissions, and authorities. Item number 1 on this is the appointment of Sherry Muha for a term to expire on December 31st, 2024, to the Dunellen Municipal Alliance. Mrs. Muha is not here, so she can see Mrs. Stats to take her oath of allegiance. Excuse me. Next on our agenda for this appointment is the appointment of the following members to the Dunellen Arts, Inclusion, and Culture Commission. I see we have 2 members of the audience today that are being appointed, so I will ask for them to come on up and we'll do the allegiance.
Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah.
Members of the Dunellen Arts, Inclusion, and Culture Commission.
Members of the Dunellen Arts, Inclusion, and Culture Commission. There we go.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that we will support the Constitution of the United States
that we will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that we will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that we will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and the government established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Side. So for the remaining members that were appointed to the Dunellen Arts, Inclusion, and Culture Commission, please see Mrs. Stats at the clerk's office and she will read the oath of allegiance for you. You can sign. I was notified this evening by Luann Steber that she did decline the appointment, so we will be seeking a member for the alternate member 1 position. Thank you to everyone who steps up and volunteers in the town. We need volunteers. We need more of them. The Dunellen Arts, Inclusion, and Culture Commission is the reestablishment of the Dunellen Diversity and Inclusion in with the Dunellen Arts and Culture Commission. The liaisons for this commission will be Council Member Daniel Sigmund and Crisol Idis Lance. So thank you for that. Council members also, just as we're on the topic, we did reissue the special assignments to the council members because of the addition of the Dunellen Arts, Inclusion, and Culture Commission, as well as reaffirming the Communications Advisory Group, which is Council President Albertson, Council Member Sigmund, and Council Member Rios, who will be a part of that group. So they will be the liaisons to that, to the already working committee. So where are we? We are on item number 4, approval of the meeting minutes. Can I have a motion, a second, to the regular meetings of our March 4th, 2024 council meeting?
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Albertson.
Any comments, additions, or redactions to the meeting minutes as they currently stand? Without hearing any, let's take a roll call, please.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Land?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios? Yes. Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Okay, before we move on to item number 5, I should have done this in the beginning of the meeting. Our attorney, William Robertson, would normally be here, is not here this evening, obviously, and Michael Silbert from, the law firm.
Francisco Bateman.
Thank you.
Yep.
We're so used to having a sole proprietor as our attorney.
All good.
DeFrancisco, and Bateman is here to represent on behalf of Mr. Robertson. I apologize. I should have introduced you earlier.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
So item number 5 on the agenda, adoption of ordinance 2024-06 to amend the ordinance 2024-05, authorizing the execution of right-of-way agreement between the Borough of Dunellen and Comcast of Plainfield LLC to permit the installation, use, and maintenance of cable television service and telecommunications facilities within public rights of way for purposes of providing cable television and telecommunications services. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Move it, Rios.
Second, Sigmund.
Okay, this should be introduction. Okay, so this is an introduction. We're amending the agenda as we currently speak. So this is just language that was amended to the prior publicly heard and adopted ordinance, which noted Comcast of Northeastern, or was Western?
it was West.
West. It was a clerical issue. It should have been Comcast of Plainfield. That's the only change to the ordinance. So no discussion at this time, just updating you. And the ordinance will be publicly heard and adopted as it's amended on our April 1st council meeting. The goal of this, everyone, is to get Comcast in to give Optimum Altice a little competition. So we're very close to getting this done. So can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Item number 6 on our agenda are resolutions. Mrs. Stats, our municipal clerk, will read them out. And she'll give each resolution opportunity for mayor and council to discuss and question if they so choose.
Resolution number 102 is to pay the bills.
Move it.
Second, Rios.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution 103 is to award a contract to Verizon for police vehicle laptop computers.
Move it. Second, Rios.
Was Vandermark?
Give a second.
Yeah, Mrs. Rios. Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution number 104 is to amend resolution 07-03-2023, number 15, the hiring of Olga Tapia to create a mural on the Madison Ave, New Jersey Transit underpass on behalf of the Dunellen Arts and Culture Commission.
Move it, Rios.
Second, Sigmund.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution 105 is to issue a tax redemption.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Albertson.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution number 106 is authorizing the Borough of Dunellen to enter into the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance Cooperative Pricing Agreement.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Rios.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Paulson?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
Mr. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution number 107 is to approve the Knights of Columbus for an instant raffle license for April 22nd, 2024 to April 21st of 2025.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Albertson.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mr. Fulton,
Yes.
Mrs. Rios,
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
Mr. Vandermark.
Yes.
Resolution number 108 is to approve the Triborough Memorial Post 5479 VFW for an instant raffle license for April 26, 2024 to April 25th, 2025.
Second Rios?
Mrs. Rios,
Yes.
Mrs. Albertson,
Yes.
Mrs. Lance,
Yes.
Mr. Fulton,
Yes.
Mrs. Rios,
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mr. Vandermark.
Yes.
Resolution 109 is a resolution to transfer appropriation reserves for the 2023 operating accounts.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second Rios?
Mrs. Albertson,
Yes.
Mrs. Lance,
Yes.
Mr. Fulton,
Yes.
Mrs. Rios,
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mr. Vandermark.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. You.
you're welcome.
Item number 7 on the agenda is council reports. Council President Albertson, anything to report this evening?
No report today.
Oh. Councilmember Rios, anything to report?
It's okay, I got 3 pages. No, it's large print. Yes, I do. Dunellen Public Library, there is a critical need for foster parents in New Jersey, and on Tuesday, March 26th, representatives from the New Jersey Department of Children and Families will be available to provide information on becoming a foster family. If you're interested in learning more, stop by between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. A representative will be there. Some special programs for children and teens this month include a collage art on Tuesday, March 19th, and a DIY lip moisturizer program on March 25th, where you can make your own chapstick. And on Saturday, March 23rd, we'll be celebrating Holy, from 12 to 2 p.m. with special crafts and a color party. Come dressed in white or as you are and help us welcome spring with colorful chalk. The colorful powder will be enjoyed at the end of the event. Dunellen Parks and Rec. The Recreation Easter egg hunt will be held this upcoming Sunday, March 24th at Columbia Park at 1 p.m. sharp. This event is open to kids pre-K through 3rd grade and Dunellen residents only. Bring a basket and don't be late. Adult yoga is returning this spring. Registration deadline is March 31st. Classes will begin April 8th from 7 to 8 in the senior center. Class is free for Dunellen residents 62 years and older. Softball, opening day is April 13th. We will have a rookie and minor league team that will be participating in the Somerville League. Baseball, come join and support this annual tradition of the opening day parade and ceremony scheduled for April 20th at 10 a.m. Youth tennis grades 3 through 8, 3rd grade to 8th grade. Registration deadline is this Friday, March 22nd. Tennis program begins on April 13th on Saturdays. Club tennis will also be offered again on Tuesday nights for competitive play for kids in grades 6 through 8. Board of Education. On March 12th, the Board of Ed had its tentative budget presentation for the year. This meeting was to review prior years and current year accomplishments, outline enhancements, plans for the 2025-2024 school year, describe the budget process and timeline, identify project revenues, present a planned budget for the 2024-2025 school year, and indicate the tax impact on the presented budget. The next Board of Ed meeting will be April 16th. Have a great day and don't forget to volunteer.
Okay, thank you. And that anticipated tax increase is $203 from what I understand on the average home? Okay, so when's the next meeting?
Well, the next meeting will be April 16th, but the actual budget report will be May. I'd have to look, there's like the middle of the month, which I'll let you know on the next.
So that in the middle of May is when they adopt the budget?
Yes.
Okay, so if anybody has a concern about a $203 increase on the average home of, I think, about $425 on the school side, make your concerns known. I have a concern about that. it's going to be a significant increase on our senior population and lower income residents. So I respect what the school's doing. I agree with the quality of service increases and the educational direction they're going, but change is incremental, and $203 on the average home is a lot, because the average home in Dunellen is $425, mine's $465. So that means the increase is going to be more than $203, much like half of Dunellen. So just make your voices known. That's all I'm going to say. Councilmember Vandermark. Any report?
Police committee, 6 arrests, 5 Okay. Is it working? Can you hear me now? Okay. We could get snow in March and April, so keep that in mind. That's my report.
Yes, for buildings and grounds, the majority of the lights beneath the South Washington Ave Bridge have been upgraded to new LED lights, significantly improving the appearance and safety. So we're looking forward to also getting some painting done there too. 7 new Hometown Hero banners have been recently ordered for 2024, and all banners are scheduled to be displayed in May alongside the American flags. The DPW crew carried out sidewalk repairs at the library and maintained the playground mulch at Moorcraft Park.
No report other than just to say, remember, you don't have to be a great athlete to be a great coach. Joe reminds me of
Let's
that
not get into
weekly.
this again.
Also, just want to, I'm really excited to see the work of the Dunellen Arts Inclusion and Culture Committee moving forward and synergizing our efforts. And excited to continue the work on the communications advisory group that we've been doing. So that's it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Coach Joe Paul John.
All right. There we go. Yes, and please sign up because he's been asking for some time, so I would hope that you would listen to him because he's really asking. So anyone that can, please sign up and be a coach. And again, he is my role model, so thank you for that, buddy. DPW report. On March 9th, some crew members came in to assist with the flooding during a storm. The crew assisted the police department on the road closures. Following the storm, the crew cleared all the catch basins and swept the flooded streets and continued to walk the streams. The DPW crew also routinely cleaned the downtown area, all borough properties and parks. They picked up branches throughout the town, cleaned up 2 fallen trees at McCoy Park, sprayed for weeds in the downtown area and all the borough properties and parks, repaired a sidewalk at the library, began working on all the baseball and softball fields for the upcoming season, which is exciting. In the upcoming week, the crew will be working on potholes around town. So if you do see them, please try and swerve around them. And if you're behind them, gives them some time to do what they need to do. And they are doing repairs on all vehicles, police vehicles, DPW trucks, and prepping all lawn maintenance equipment for the upcoming season. On to the rescue squad, they are continuing to look for volunteers. Like I said, we've mentioned many times, there's a lot of good things happening with the squad and a bright future, so please check out their website for all updates, and if you want to become a volunteer, you can do so. Please visit DunellenRescue.org. And that is all for me.
Okay. Center Street, the mill and pave project. We're anticipating that Center Street, which is a shared service contract with Piscataway Township, will be milled and paved this summer. If you remember, in 2023, we repaired and replaced several sections of damaged curbs and added new compliant ADA sidewalk ramps. As we get closer to the start of the milling and paving, notices will be issued to the residents and the school district. Railroad Avenue to Grove Street sewer lining project. We anticipate this relining project to begin on or around March 29th. It'll take approximately 3 to 5 days to complete. New Jersey American Water, the milling and paving of North Washington Avenue north to First Street is planned for spring of 2024. Our May 19th multi-site cleanup of the Greenbrook. This is our third year of this multi-municipality and multi-partner initiative, which includes the Lower Raritan Watershed Partnership, Mayor's Alliance for a Clean Greenbrook Waterway, and many more. Please join us at McCoy Park at 9:30 a.m. on the 19th to clean up the Greenbrook. Something new and exciting, Dunellen Volunteer Picnic and Events. Please join us for Dunellen's first volunteer picnic on Sunday, April 28th. 12 p.m. at Columbia Park. Information will be noticed out soon. Just wanted to make the announcement tonight here at the council meeting. Just want to give a shout out to Kelly Cedar. She's really been working with me on this and she's been doing a fantastic job. But what is Volunteer Picnic Day? This will give the committees, commissions, boards, and authorities the opportunity to showcase their agencies and explain to the public about their missions and goals, and hopefully encourage more people to sign up and volunteer. It'll also be a means for us to thank our volunteers with a picnic. Additionally, I'm planning a mayoral town hall called Volunteering in Dunellen for Thursday, April 25th at 7 p.m. at the Dunellen Senior Center. We are in conversations with the school on whether if we can get that same town hall assembly into the school district on Friday the 26th to encourage the students to get involved. Finally, during the week of April 7th to the 13th, we will conduct a social media campaign for New Jersey Local Government Week, as we always do, showcasing our public employees and various volunteer committees and commissions. Budget introduction and presentation, Dunellen's 2045 on here. That's interesting. I plan not to be mayor at that point. Dunellen's 2024 budget will be introduced at the Monday, April 1st, 2024 council meeting at 7 p.m. It won't be April Fools. We will have a budget presentation. Klein Place Road Improvement Project, a pre-construction meeting was held on January 25th. Construction is anticipated to commence around April. Supplemental sump pump and leader drain connections are being coordinated with the borough for future tie-ins by residents. The contractor is still securing a suitable supplier for the precast sanitary and stormwater sewerage components of the project, which could potentially affect the start date for the project, but we will follow up with more information as we get closer to an answer on that. Lincoln Avenue, the remaining work has been completed and closeout paperwork was transmitted to us on the 9th of February. CME Associates, our engineer, has received the signed New Jersey Department of Transportation change orders from the borough, and we are processing the grant closeout with the Department of Transportation. They've also begun preparation of the final certificates of costs to obtain final grant reimbursement from the state. Washington Avenue Street Lighting Project, CME Associates is addressing the review comments received from the New Jersey Department of Transportation to advance the project to bidding. The lighting lease agreement is being processed by us, the borough. Dunellen Station, K. Havanian component. The report for the final temporary certificate of occupancies has been submitted to the construction official. Our engineers are conducting site observations to generate a list of work to be completed or bonded prior to the issuance of a final certificate of occupancy. And mix that up. I apologize. CME Associates is preparing the recycling tonnage grant application. It was for 2023. Clerical error. Last time I said 2024. It is 2023. It's a year behind. CME Associates is in receipt of comments from the NJDEP regarding the railroad culvert project. And they're in contact with them about the needs for, to be done and receive the final approval. CME Associates is scheduled to attend a virtual pre-construction meeting with the New Jersey Department of Transportation on March 28th about the proposed ADA compliant ramp improvements along North Avenue. So if you remember in 2020, the state came to us and said they're going to do in 21, and then they came back and said they're going to do in 22, and then they came back and said they're going to do in 23. Well, we never got to this point with a meeting, so maybe this means it'll actually get done in 24, maybe 25. But anyway, we're having a meeting on that. CME Associates is reviewing the application to the planning board for 337 Front Street, which is slated for April planning board meeting. So that's that. Just a heads up too, in communications with Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, her office, there are some projects we applied for federal funding through appropriations, and looks like we might get some funding for them. One would be a bike trail and path around the Marr House. Additional one would be some improvements to the downtown. Some more information to follow on that. So with that, we will turn it over to our department heads if you have any additions.
So just for the fire department. So is it on? It is on. So for the fire department, the project's moving along. Today they started the floor work in the bay. So hopefully in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I can invite you all down to take a tour of the progress so far as we get ready to move the trucks in. So that's exciting. That's the last hurdle to get us into the bays. Rest of the building is still looking June-ish, could be a little longer, but it's moving along. So, and one other thing, as I was thinking, this Wednesday night, the fire department set up a pre-plan of the new project down by Warrenville Road. So we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the construction to see how everything's going and learn where the fire protection features are. So it's all for the fire department. Yeah, just quick one.
Yes, we continue Safety Saturdays. And actually, we're looking for our first responders, the fire department, the police department, the rescue squad to be a presenter at a 20-minute virtual Safety Saturdays in the near future. The other thing I just like to say is that thanks to DBW, they have prepared a pad for us to receive our 40-foot container, which we will use to stockpile emergency supplies. We have offered the Carroll Fund space there as well in the 40-foot container. That's it.
So, further, we will open the floor to public comment. And you just ask name, address. I asked.
Okay.
How's everyone doing, man?
Good, good. Yourself?
Personally, my name is James Spears. I live on this street right here, 16 Prospect Avenue.
Okay.
Firstly, I would like to say good evening to all in attendance virtually as well. That feels better. Okay. For myself and the vast family that supports me, I would like to say that March 4th, 2024, I had the pleasure of viewing my first public viewing of a proper and professional council meeting. I have in my past worked along with the mayors of Plainfield, current and past, and the current mayor of Linden. While I do not know any of your personal lives, I've had the graces of working alongside you. And I commend you all on your current endeavors and future because I see that you all support change and will stop for no one on what is grammatically and physically correct. With our society the way it is at the moment, when social media runs as the news craze and false information is spreading like wildfire, I realize that visual and soundly pleasing in a soundly pleasing community is a key feature and goal to strive towards. I would like to bring up a few topics. One being that March is here, and that I did not see any indigenous art or activity for the youth of Dunellen or even the young adults/seniors in the past month of February. As a town of a diverse culture, I know it is imperative for us to learn the cultures of others in order to create positive environments for the youth. We have multiple restaurants in Dunellen. Give me 1 second as I scroll. We have multiple restaurants in the city of Dunellen, but no public outings for growth, meaning more culture-based outings for more people to visit and feel comfortable. This will create more opportunity for our town's business and create more job opportunities for the youth who need to learn the significance of work. I am not a political person, nor am I looking to be, but I do relate to people and I can understand where they're coming from. So I hope I can be involved in making this happen. I do not have capital or currency to back me. I am an entrepreneur who hopes for the best given my own circumstances and living situations. I am not on Section 8 or even disability, so I definitely know and feel the growing pains of inflation. And growing up, this was not something I was taught in grammar school or even high school because economics was not highlighted. I think we as a community should implement more into the school's education system and programs for the future creators, doctors, lawyers, mayors, and judges. I have no degree in any college, but I have studied multiple avenues from philanthropy, entertainment, logistics, business analysis, macro and ecological economics. And I know that this is something we need in our city and can work together to find the resources. My next point is the amount of capital we spend on decorative allowance, on keeping the city appealing. We could really use charging stations that are Wi-Fi enabled for free, just like New York City. And I'm not implying to put one on every corner, but it would definitely create more lucrative opportunity for delivery bikers, drivers, etc., with hopes of no one having to sleep on a street or in a stairwell. It's not something I would want any child to have to grow up and experience because of the lack of resource. With your help, we can create a city that people from all walks of life can afford and bring a positive outcome to. I will definitely have more to speak on as I watch the city develop, whether I live here or I'm just passing through, with all hopes to a better future for myself and you all. Thank you for listening and considering my thoughts on what can definitely change and mold all of our own family's future. Sincerely, James Spears.
Thank you, James, for being here this evening and sharing with us your opinion, your thoughts, your perception. And there are multiple opportunities to volunteer. I encourage you to go on Dunellen-nj.gov and see what volunteer opportunities are on our volunteer application. And you spoke about business. There's a Dunellen Downtown Management Organization to get involved with, the Dunellen Arts Inclusion and Culture Commission to get involved with. The library is a cultural hub, and they're always looking for volunteers, and the town overall is looking for more volunteers. So we're proud of our diversity, and we appreciate you being here today to recognize that and also bring some points to us to consider. So always open to a conversation. So thank you. Thank you. You too, James. Okay. Any other members of the public that are in person right now? Please state your name and address. Carl? Okay. Well, Ricky's not here, so we're not talking about me getting to a kayak. So that's good news, right? Oh, hey, Gigi, how are you?
I'm great. Good evening, everyone. Georgette Mosley, 113 Pearl Place, Dunellen. My question was about what action can the borough take for repeat violators hindering snow removal? And soon the street sweeping. Do we have like first offense, second offense, third offense, anything like that? Some of it being flagrant actions. Thank you.
Well, without me looking at the ordinance right in front of me, which Mrs. Stats is looking at, I can tell you in terms of cars that are not removed during snow events, they're automatically ticketed. There's no warning, from my understanding. In terms of when street sweepers go by, we don't really ticket or warn on that one just because it's a matter of, you know, they're doing whole sections at once. I mean, I guess we could visit that, but you know, I guess they don't get a clean front of their curb. That's their, I guess you can say, the action on that one. They don't move their car. So.
I can also ask Mr. Robinson to look into it. I don't know the ordinance by heart, so I can get back to you on that, Mayor.
Okay, we'll get you a copy too. Okay. Any other members of the public that are here in person? Okay, it doesn't seem as though we do. Welcome back, Jessica. Always good to see you. So we will open up the floor to the public that is online. We ask that you state your name and address, and our IT, David Petzinger, will handle the coordination of our online. I heard him earlier. Okay, so without hearing any comments from the public in the virtual world, I'm assuming there's no more in person. We will close that portion of the meeting, and there's no further business. So item number 10 is adjournment. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Move it, Sigmund.
All in
Second.
favor? Sorry, all in favor? Any nays? Okay, good. Have a good night, everyone.